Welcome back to the show. It's round two. We got it for you. Is XRP about to make the explosion of a lifetime? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on YouTube and digperspectives.com and Twitter, X, for exclusive content. Right now, $2.51 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 3%. Let me just take a freshen up here on this. Yeah, 2.49, still the same. 66,100 plus, 3,300 plus for Ethereum. Tether market cap 114 billion plus. We see XRP holding its own at the number 6 spot for market cap at 34 billion plus. USDC at the number 7 spot for 33 billion plus. 61 cents for XRP, up 2.1 to 24 and up 4% on the 7-day, ranging between 59 and 63 cents. You can understand why people are watching the price very closely today. We have multiple technical analysts that we're going to take a look at, and I find it really, really exciting that a lot of these technical analysts are seeing the same thing. And we're going to have one OG that we're going to look at too before we get out of here that's going to show us something that really, I think, puts me in a place where I feel comfortable watching all of this, and I hope it helps you too. I do want to remind everybody, I trust capital, and I just closed the window by accident, but I trust capital, ladies and gentlemen, the best crypto, gold, silver IRAs on the planet, and you can have them too. You can have the empowerment of controlling your own retirement tax-free. This is what's so remarkable about it. You can roll over your 401k, all the different things. Please click the link to them below and find out why they are a behemoth. They are the leader in crypto IRAs because they're the best. And don't believe me? Click the link and find out for yourself. CoinDesk right here, the scoop from Circle is Circle's privately held stock is trading in the secondary market at a $5 billion to $5.25 billion valuation for the issuer of USDC stablecoin. And this is ahead of the planned initial public offering, according to sources and the reporting here. And this is CoinDesk. So look, I'm a holder of private equity for Circle. I'm excited about what they're going to do, just like I'm excited about Ripple and what they're going to do, and I'm a private equity holder of that as well. But we will see. But this is exciting because we know that they have already said that they plan to IPO. I'm hoping they IPO before the end of this year. That would be super, super exciting. And I think it would set the tone for a lot of others that are waiting to do an IPO to come off the sidelines to do it. Because if they don't, they may have to wait a couple years before they get to do it. Meanwhile, 2 anonymous whales have withdrawn over $22 million, or 22 million XRP, equaling in these two amounts $27 million. So together it totals 45.6 million XRP, evaluated at 27 million. What they did with it, I don't know. I know a lot of people speculate that it could have been used for settlement, or it could be used for a settlement or something of that like. And it might not even have anything to do with Ripple itself. So who knows, right? But we do know that this could be a very big week, the next week or two. We could see the ruling in the SEC versus Ripple case literally any second, okay? It could be dropping right now while I'm making this video, and I don't know it. So super excited about that and waiting for that to happen. This is a new press release. I just want to fill everybody in on XRP Ledger, Ripple's second collaboration with the National Federation Associations of Central Bank Servers. Brazil is the first country Ripple has chosen for the targeted investment, recognizing the country's advanced developer community, sophisticated digital payments infrastructure, and pragmatic digital currency policies. It says Brazil is the first country that's chosen to target the investment, and this is getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Look, all around the world, this is what we're talking about. Ripple's everywhere. Indirectly or directly, they're damn near everywhere, and that's amazing because when they get this real USD, I think that's going to really prove just how beneficial it's been that they've kept their head down for more than a decade building the infrastructure for something like XRP and the real USD to run on. Remember, that's launching on the XRP ledger and the Ethereum network. Come on in. Meanwhile, this is Charles Payne talking with Natalie Brunell about the idea of Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset in the U.S. Take a listen.
You know, I got to tell you, that Bitcoin conference in Nashville over the weekend, it feels like one of those seminal moments that people are going to be talking about years from now. My next guest actually played a major role at the conference and continues to be a passionate advocate dedicated to spreading the word and educating the masses. Joining me now, Coin Stories podcast host Natalie Brunell. Natalie, you know, it's so weird because it wasn't long ago. Bitcoin was tumbling, right? It was under 20,000. Even people who loved it said it may go to 10,000. Could you imagine now, I mean, just not long after that, you're getting shout outs on X from U.S. senators, sitting U.S. senators, for discussing Bitcoin. It's come a long way in a short period of time.
Yes, it has. We missed you in Nashville, Charles, because this conference was truly historic. You had a former U.S. president telling people not to sell their Bitcoin. And people are really ready for change and a pro-Bitcoin administration. Some of our current leaders have been leading a war on digital assets, so they need to go. Because remember, Bitcoin was created by the people for the people. It wasn't delivered by Wall Street or Washington, D.C. It wasn't promoted by big tech. It emerged from the free market to become the 8th or 9th largest asset in the world. And now 2 of the 3 candidates are lobbying this community because it's grown into a massive voting bloc. And they're seriously proposing to adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset for the U.S. So this is historic and shows that Bitcoin is winning.
It really is amazing. So you have President Trump there who you know, it was obviously warmly received. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Gave a very powerful speech. And by the way, there was a letter from 28 Democrats. They sent it to the DNC saying, hey, we've got to be more forward-looking on this. But you know, I think it's Elizabeth Warren's out there who just, for some reason, don't believe crime was ever committed with fiat currency. Right? So my question now is, when do you think both parties just officially say, okay, we embrace Bitcoin and blockchain?
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen because Bitcoin is bipartisan. It is open source code designed to offer property rights to the globe. And I think there's probably been a little bit of panic ahead of the DNC that the party may have alienated some young voters who are finally catching up economically because of Bitcoin. And you're right, there are people within the party who recognize this technology is useful. It is American at its core. It empowers the average person. And the U.S. should be a leader in supporting Bitcoin. So I would not be surprised to see a pro-Bitcoin stance emerging from everyone because, again, Bitcoin is for everyone, regardless of political party. And maybe it's the one thing that can help bridge this divide between us that people are so tired of seeing, because who can be against economic empowerment for all of us?
It's a very good point, you know, and then you can get down into the defined minutia, but I'm not going to. But I want to stay focused because I want you to hear this gentleman here, Bill Miller, the fourth, tells his CNBC Bitcoin is the new global denominator for capital.
Certainly, if more companies decide that they want to buy and never sell Bitcoin, it's going to increase the demand relative to the fixed supply. We all know that that would work in favor of the prices. But what problem is solved by companies doing that? I mean, I just don't know how many companies are really going to want to place that sort of an asset on their balance sheet and have that be an aspect of their story.
Well, I think it's worth asking what their alternatives are. And the alternative is you can buy a treasury asset that whose white paper says it's going to depreciate at 2% a year at least. And if you look back at the history of the Federal Reserve, they printed approximately 6% supply growth over an incredibly long period of time. 6% supply growth, that just happens to correlate with the long-term growth rate of nominal GDP. What do you know? So here's the real deal. Bitcoin is the new global denominator for capital. So the problem it solves is you don't have all of these politicians running around trying to curry for favor and redistribute wealth and change taxes and change all sorts of things. You get what you get. You get 21 million Bitcoin and that's it. And so, you know, we're incredibly optimistic about it over the long term as these dominoes continue to fall in favor of Bitcoin.
Well, and I'll say this, This tells me, first of all, I've always seen Bitcoin when I saw BlackRock come out and say that they were going to do the spot ETF and start calling it a flight to quality. I told you right then when I heard Larry Fink from BlackRock say that's how bad it's going to get. If they're going to need to rely on Bitcoin for reserve asset or extra commodities, reserves, whatever you want to call it, backstop, whatever, I'm telling you right now, this is how bad they feel it's going to get, right? They're going to have to throw the kitchen sink at it, and the kitchen sink is Bitcoin, right? And digital assets broadly. And I say, bring it. Do whatever you got to. They created this mess. So get us out of it. And if some of us can get rich in the process of getting out of this hole, well, good for us for having our eyes open during the time it was happening. This from Brad Garlinghouse here. He's highlighting the Cointelegraph post. The SEC has retracted its request for the court to classify tokens like Solana, Cardano, Ox Polygon as securities in its lawsuit against Binance. This is a great point by Brad Garlinghouse here from Ripple. Says, more evidence of SEC hypocrisy. Chair Gensler testifies the rules are clear, yet his SEC can't figure them out and applies them haphazardly, festering more industry confusion. A political agenda and or bad faith litigation tactics, definitely not faithful allegiance to the law. No question about that. Great point from Brad. XRP Ledger and XP Market. Shout out to Ator here. He makes a cool note. He breaks down like what's happening in the market right now. And I love what he shares about automated market makers. At first glance, things might look grim. Volumes are down 51% to 670K. Inflows have decreased by 71% to 284K. And outflows have dropped by 60% to 438K. But hold your horses, he says. Total value locked up are up 7% to $11.3 million. And XRP pools jumped 5% to $9.484 million. This tells us that people might not be trading as much, but they're sure as heck not letting go of their positions. Diamond hands, anyone? Love that little breakdown of those numbers right there. Then he talks about the NFT scene and where it's at right now and calls it a connoisseur's market. And then the token market in general has decreased, obviously, and the DEX volume is down 25%. But what's going on, it seems like there's a shift in trading patterns with fewer but potentially larger trades happening. So what's the big picture? As all signs point to a potential rotation in capital within the XRP Ledger ecosystem. And doesn't this make sense, knowing that we're very close to getting a ruling in the case, the launch of the real USD, and people like was it ClearZone or whatever the banks are that just announced that they would be taking a position in the real USD. And imagine that. Imagine that moment is very, very close upon us. And with that, we've seen a lot of this. First of all, here's a chart from XRP Captain. Shout out to him. Look at this candle right here. And this is on the 4-hour chart. That is a strong candle right there. Now, we have other things. I want to show you multiples. That's XRP Captain. This is Mikey Bull right here, showing here XRP displays significant technical signs that occurred in 2017 that led to massive gains afterwards. Now, I know we've all seen similar charts to the breakout, and here's the 2017-2018 breakout that happened. But look where this is right here, and look where we are right here. And look where this is right here, right? Which looks like the RSI, if I'm right. I don't know, but it looks like it. And if not, then this might be, or one of these might be two different versions of some relative strength index or MACD, I don't know. But nevertheless, you could see how it looks like it's got room to go up, even though we're tightening in this wedge, which could lead to a huge explosion. And if it does, we got lots of upside here on these charts down below, right? So we want to keep an eye on that. And one of these might be a volume chart. But nevertheless, let's keep going, because this here is Sheldon the Sniper. And Sheldon the Sniper here says XRP looking ready for a mega breakout. Come on in. Look at that. That doesn't mean that we won't retrace, right? This could go all the way out into 2025 if it wanted to. Don't get mad at me. I'm just showing you what they're seeing. These technical analysts are super excited right now, and you could see it. Now, this right here meant a lot to me because we've heard this before. XRP is doing it, says the Moon Carl. The long-awaited pump has just started, and he shows the pump going up to 72 cents. Well, I'll have something to touch on that in just a second. You'll want that again. Then here we see the comparison from where the breakout was from 0.005 of a penny to 45 cents. XRP to $30 next. They're putting this fractal from 2017, 2018 over top of that. And they're basically showing that we could go from 45 cents where we were not very long ago to $30. Look, I'm here for it all, right? $5, $8, new all-time high, $30, $100, $1,000, $10,000. I'm here for all of it, okay? I really am. So, but I wanted to show this because there's so many different analysts are pointing to what they're seeing here. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but they are all putting it on the line, saying something massive is getting ready to happen. XRP likely to surge 60,000%. What? And when I took a look at this, you go down into this, Tony the Bull Severino. This is what it is. Now, the Bollinger Band, if you look at this, you can see right here that this is showing here that there is room for this thing to skyrocket like it did back in 2017, 2018, because that's where it's sitting, and that's the last time it sat that low, is right there. And then the Bollinger Bands is how tight this neck is, this bottleneck right here is. You can see before we had the 2021 bump, it tightened, but not quite as tight as here. Well, it's tighter than it's ever been in this bottleneck right now, today. Okay, well, that is exciting. But in order to put our feet back on the ground, because it is all exciting, I go back to the one and only Egg Rag Crypto. It says we got to close above 64 cents to make it higher, as we know, but he reminds us from all the way back in July, early in the month, in the middle of the month, if it closes above 65 cents, it sets the stage for a breakthrough above 75. Anything below 75 cents is just market noise. So, the market is dancing around 10 cents below, give or take, right? A little lower now. It was at 63. So we're about 10, 15 cents below where we need to be for this conversation of everything we looked at to take off. And you know how quickly we went from 42 cents, 45 cents to where we're sitting today. It happened super quick, super quick. So head on a swivel, ladies and gentlemen. I was here during 2017, 2018. And if I could encourage any of you to do anything, it is to get your plan in place, because when this market moves, the level of euphoria that will overcome you will make you a little bit crazy, like out of yourself in a sense. It was a remarkable euphoric time for me. Now, I didn't take profits during that time, and I didn't take profits in 21 either. I will be taking profits this time because I have a plan in place. My plan in place the last two bull runs was to continue to accumulate. I wasn't in a place where I could afford to take any liquidity and feel those gains. I had to keep building my portfolio. I had to keep my head down. And I had to keep doing the work that let me know for 4 years that I felt good to continue to accumulate. And I still do today. So the reality is we're getting very close to something according to all of these technical analysts that we just looked at. And if that's the case, whatever you do, everybody's got a plan, and it needs to be individual to you and your life and family. I get that. No one can make that plan but you. But you need to make that plan. No doubt about it. That's going to do it for me. And if you're interested in getting some ideas for exit strategies or how to use the XRP Ledger and Automated Market Maker, the window is still open to join us in the DPMG. Go to digperspectives.com and click the DPMG and join us there for an incredible conversation around some super, super smart individuals. And you get the Freedom Zone for free. Or you could just join the Freedom Zone for next to nothing. It's up to you. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're doing it. And that's where we are on this day. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.